Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about, like the heading said, why I prefer SD-1, one of the most cheapest, tightest and nastiest overdrives there is. Well, the answer was pretty much in that question. But let me go this through. So many of you have asked me that dude, what's up with the with the SD-1? Aren't there any better ones? Probably, sure. You know, if you look specs or if you look price, there's a lot of better ones. A lot more expensive ones. The reason why I like SD-1, probably the main reason is because I'm so used to it. It was my first overdrive pedal I ever bought. This was, I think, in 91. I started playing 89. This particular Bass HMG was the first pedal I bought in 89. Then I bought the SD that's on the board with the blood splatter thing you see in the picture. So I've always used that. I'm so used to the feel. I like the feel. Okay, so the feel is really personal. Let's go through the sound and the philosophy, because most of my life, my career playing live, I played with JCM 800s or 5150s or some other 800, 2000s. But no matter what the amp, no matter how many channels, I've only always used one channel. Probably it comes because of 800, because there's only one channel. There's no effect loop, no delays, no nothing. Bone dry, straight in, rock and roll. Not straight in, but you know what I mean. So that's where I come from. And even though nowadays I'm using quad cortex live for many reasons, because it's so easy and it sounds great and I have my sound no matter where I go, where I travel. But I still have the same approach. I have one sound there and then I do the stuff with my hands and with the SD-1. So let me show the sound now. This is now the bad boy JCM 800 with the SD-1 on. Turn it actually a little bit louder. You know, I like the small compression, the sustain, the nastiness, the tightness. Then when I take the SD off, so I get like crunchy sounds and then I get also clean sounds. Like, to me that's clean. Crystal clean is another thing. But live I kind of like this. This is my clean, because it gets better when there's a little bit you know, happening. So when I dial the amp, the low end is almost full. It's quite full sound. And I hardly play this sound with my volume fully open, because when I'm not using SD, no matter the amp, it's usually this kind of crunchy. So I'm lowering with the volume. What it does is, since there's not so much signal going into the amp, the low end drops. So that's why I have pretty much a lot of low end, because like full on, it's a bit woofy, but it's just great. And then single coil neck pickup. It's just beautiful. And then when I open the, you know, and it becomes a little flabby, but then when I kick SD, it just tightens it and adds nice sustain. And the settings on the SD are what they are in the picture. I know that many people, they want to use an overdrive that doesn't change the sound, so maybe they have dialed less low and from the amp, so they want to retain up. But I don't want that, like I just showed you. I want the tightness and the nastiness of the SD when I'm opening my... Because I play a lot with the volume. In that sense, I'm kind of old school. I'm not just kind of, I am old school. So that's the thing. Okay, let's change into another amp. SLO-100. No SD now. The overdrive channel cleans nicely. Nice, this kind of plexi-like SLO. It's, to me, it's just like a, you know, beefed up plexi with a master volume. Again, a little woo-woo, but I hardly use this sound like volume fully open. It's more like... Then when I open the volume, crank the SD. I get the sustain, the tightness, tiny amount of more drive, and again the feel is great. Okay, let's move to rectifier. No SD, it's the channel 3 modern mode. Okay, and then, you know, as you heard, it cleans nicely. And I don't need overdrive to boost this sound, because I have the boost on my volume here. Then again, I open the volume, bridge pickup, SD in. Cool. Let's do the same example, you know, with the 5150, no SD. And it's the lead channel on the high gain input. So that's why I like SD-1. I have a bunch of different ones. This is an old one. This is the Wazacraft. These are all the same. My original is Japan. I think this is Taiwan. Then I have a Malaysian one. They sound all the same. So my advice: don't waste money to buy any old made in Japan ones. These are all the same. The only different one I think is the Wazacraft. Even on the standard mode, it's a little bit smoother and cleaner even on the standard mode than these you know, basic ones. I think technically, you know, speaking, this is better because it's kind of cleaner and a little bit smoother. But I actually like these basic ones more. I mean, the difference is it's a bit like, you know, cork sniffing. But I think there is the custom mode, the Wazacraft mode. That is it adds more level, more gain, and the low cut is a little bit smaller, so it's a little bit fuller sounding. And sometimes I've used this. So that's why. Two Screamer. What is the difference? Like I have now Maxon OD808 on my board. Well, SD-1 is asymmetrical clipping, and Tube Screamer is symmetrical clipping. So different clipping, it behaves a little bit differently, you know, going into a tube amp. To me, it also feels a little bit different. And but let me just show you with the 800. The difference is, so there's a little bit more mid kind of quark, and it's kind of a little bit smoother. The reason I have the Maxon, or I have this JHS Bonsai, this is a great, there's many different Tube Screamers. My old clone of the original 808 Screamer. I mean, this box is full with different. This is a great detonator by Crown King Effect. Zuda's Triac is a great mid boost. This is basically full of overdrive. So, you know, sometimes I feel like in some production that to just use something else. But most of the time it's the SD. But let me show you with the 800 the difference. It's not gonna be big, but there is, especially the feel is a different. First, let me play something with the. Let's actually do some drop tune riffing. So yeah, yes, the signal chain I almost forgot. It's the amps into my Mesa Boogie oversized cabinet with B30s, and I'm using now SM57. Sennheiser MD 421 slightly blended in. That's it. So that was SD. I'm gonna play the same, and I'm gonna switch. You know, in the middle. Like you hear the two screamer, it's a little boo boo boo, or Maxon. So whenever I'm using the Maxon, I kind of dial then a little bit, probably less low end from the amps. So for this video, I just dial the amps like I would use them live. You know, just a general good sound that cleans nicely, and then I can boost it into face melting overdrive with the SD-1. So yeah, hopefully this answered the question many of you have asked. Why SD-1 Euge? This is the reason. Conclusion / recap. I can dial a full sound from the amp without SD, which cleans nicely and retains the fullness when I roll back down the volume. Then when I open the volume, I get a nice crunchy sound that's still full, and then when I add more gain with the SD-1, you know, the more gain you add to the amp, the woofier it gets, but since SD cuts the lows on the way in, it stays tight. I like the feel, because I've been playing with SD-1 since 90s. It's like in my blood. It just feels like coming home when that's in front. There's a certain feel that I feel when I play with that I don't feel with any other overdrive. Even sometimes they might work actually better, then I just live with that in a studio situation. Live, it's always been SD-1 to me. Even on the quad cortex nowadays, I have profiled all of my amps with and without SD, you know, in there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye.